a warning, and a promise. What if excellence isn't a moment of brilliance, but a slow erosion of weakness? 2,000 years ago, Aristotle shattered the myth of talent with one line. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit, a warning, and a promise. Aristotle wrote, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Who was Aristotle? Aristotle was not just a philosopher. He was a scientist, logician, teacher, and the mentor of Alexander the Great. Born in 384 BCE in Stagira, Greece, he studied under Plato at the Academy, but eventually broke from his teacher's idealism. Where Plato believed in perfect forms, Aristotle believed in practice, in the tangible, the human, the repeatable. Meaning of the quote: when Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do," he was rewriting the definition of character. You are not defined by your goals, you're defined by your systems. Excellence is not divine luck or sudden genius. It's built molecule by molecule through routine. Every act of discipline sculpts identity. Every repetition is a vote for who you become. The psychology of habit. Aristotle's insight predates modern neuroscience, but it aligns perfectly. Today, we know that habits rewire neural pathways. Your brain doesn't care what's good or bad, only what's repeated. That's why mediocrity feels comfortable and growth feels painful. Excellence is a neurological rebellion against laziness. Anecdote. There's a story told about Aristotle's students. When asked how to become wise, he simply said, "Do wise things." Confused, they waited for a deeper answer. He smiled and repeated, "Then do them again." He knew knowledge means nothing until it's lived repeatedly. Closing. Find your great work. So, what are you repeatedly doing? Scrolling? Complaining? Or building something uncheckable? Aristotle didn't just talk about excellence, he lived it. He left behind an empire of ideas that shaped science, logic, and ethics for 2,300 years. You don't need to be Aristotle, but you do need to be consistent, because who you are becoming is hiding in what you do every day. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Opening. Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." But what does it really mean to know yourself? Is it comfort or confrontation? Because sometimes, to truly know who you are, you have to meet the parts of you you've been hiding. Aristotle wrote, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." Aristotle and the search for wisdom. To Aristotle, philosophy wasn't theory. It was medicine for the soul. He was born in 384 BCE in northern Greece, studied under Plato in Athens, and later became the teacher of Alexander the Great. But unlike his teacher, who sought eternal ideals, Aristotle looked inward. He believed wisdom wasn't just found in the heavens, but in understanding human nature itself. What knowing yourself really means. When Aristotle spoke of self-knowledge, he wasn't talking about personality tests or self-esteem. He meant something harder and more dangerous. To know yourself means to look beyond what you want to be and face what you truly are, your strengths, your fears, your contradictions. Wisdom begins where illusion ends. The psychology behind IT. Modern psychology agrees. Carl Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, It will direct your life and you will call it fate. Aristotle would have understood that perfectly. Self-awareness, recognizing your own thoughts, biases, and emotions, is the foundation of wisdom and peace. Because if you don't understand your own patterns, you'll spend life repeating them. Anecdote Aristotle and his students. There's an old story told about Aristotle's lessons. A student once asked, "How can I become wise?" Aristotle replied, "First, know what you are capable of and what you are not." The student insisted, "But I already know who I am." Aristotle smiled. "Then you know less than a child, because the child has not yet pretended to be someone else." Self-knowledge for him was brutal honesty, not comfort. Modern reflection. In an age of constant distraction, true, self-knowledge is rebellion. We spend hours knowing algorithms and seconds knowing ourselves. But Aristotle's truth remains. Before you chase success, power, or love, learn who is chasing them. Because the greatest wisdom starts in silence. When you finally ask, "Who am I, really?" Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. The illusion of leadership. Love. We write about it, chase it, destroy ourselves for it. But over 2,000 years ago, Aristotle described love not as passion, but as unity. He said, "Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies, a poetic mystery and a warning." Aristotle wrote, "Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies." Aristotle's view of love. To understand Aristotle's idea of love, we need to step into his world, ancient Greece. For him, love wasn't just emotion. It was philia, a blend of friendship, virtue, and shared purpose. It wasn't about desire alone, but about two people striving for goodness together until their souls became one. The meaning of a single soul in two bodies. When Aristotle said a single soul in two bodies, he wasn't describing romantic fusion, but moral alignment. In his ethics, the soul represented your character, your essence. So when two people truly love each other, they don't lose themselves. They reflect each other's best selves back. They move in harmony, not ownership. The psychology, love as recognition. Modern psychology echoes Aristotle's idea. Love isn't just chemistry, it's recognition. When we fall in love, we see parts of ourselves we've forgotten, healed, or longed for. It's not just attraction, it's remembrance. As if the soul says, "Ah, there you are." Anecdote. There's an old story told by Aristotle's students. When asked why humans seek love, he replied, "Because we are seeking our whole." A poetic echo of his teacher Plato's myth, where humans were once one being, split apart by the gods. But Aristotle added something new. Love isn't about becoming whole again, it's about growing together into virtue. Modern reflection. Love today is often a mirror of need, not of virtue. We chase completion instead of reflection. But Aristotle's love was quieter, deeper. Two people walking the same path, growing into one rhythm of soul. So maybe real love isn't about finding someone who completes you, but someone who mirrors your soul back to you until both are changed. Love is composed of a single soul inhabiting two bodies. Leadership isn't about power. It's about creating something worth following. Follow for more stories from the minds that changed everything.